episode of Trailer Trash Talk, Hurricane League Fantasy Talk. This is our Week 12 review / Week 13 preview episode set. Now, Week 12 is still technically in progress, but pretty much everything's decided other than Nick and Dusty's game. We're going to get to that in a little bit, but we're all pretty much in agreement on how that's going to go if it's played. But let's jump right in. We've got a threesome coming at you today, featuring Mitch Hole and Leatherhead Guy, because that's, you know, what he wants to be called. How you guys doing?
So far, so good.
Doing great, man. Doing great.
Let's try and talk up a little bit. I'm not really sure how good that microphone is going to pick up.
Doing great, man. Doing great. Glad to be here to talk fantasy football, to talk COVID, to talk playoffs with everybody. We've been looking at some playoff scenarios and looking forward to discussing here. So what do you want to jump right into? We've got the message from ESPN.
Well, first, how are you doing, Justin?
So far, so good. Nice to be here with you guys and not in the shit bowl, so this is going to be fun.
Yeah, fun fact, the three of us sitting here before you are the three that have locked playoff spots. So, and I've actually locked the 1 seed, so.
Congratulations. Enjoy your bye week. No, never mind.
Yeah, it still matters.
So yeah, let's jump into the message from ESPN.
All right, so a Wednesday game, as we know, that's weird. So in light of NFL games being affected by COVID-19, here's the details on how ESPN Fantasy Football will handle things this season. Because of the unpredictable nature of the virus and how far-reaching the impact can be, the outline below is subject to change, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, game says it's still going to be played 2:40 our time tomorrow. If it happens, and I guess if it doesn't happen too, waivers will process 2 days later this time. So waivers happen Friday morning.
Thankfully, there's no Thursday night game. We
That's
looked
correct.
into it. We're clear on it.
Next week we will have a Tuesday night game. I don't feel like looking up the schedule again to see who it is, but next week goes through Tuesday because
It's the
Thursday's
Ravens and somebody, I
That
believe.
would make sense since they're playing on a Wednesday. So.
But it sounds like they're going to fuck the Steelers yet again and make them play on Sunday.
Yeah, they probably would, but they're undefeated and they're going to be playing RG3 tomorrow maybe. So you want to get right into that, the conclusion of Week 12 and the implications that has for the rest of the playoff bracket. That's not the three of us.
The implications.
The implications.
So I think the only game this is really going to have a big effect on is Dusty and Nick. Oh shit, I forgot I could look at this shit too. So let's pull it up on the screen here. You can't see it, but we can. And that's what's important here. Thank you for watching. Please like and thumbs up.
Smash
Subscribe.
that like button. Smash it.
Smash it. This slow internet.
It's just
Alright,
like that
so
bastard Joe Rogan.
we have Dusty, 131.62, at Nick, who has 138.18 points right now. I don't know if y'all have looked at it on the... Did you know there's 2 decimal points on this shit?
Yeah.
I can't figure that out.
It's because passing yards are .04 points per yard.
Gotcha.
Everything else
Gotcha.
is
Okay.
1 decimal point.
So, the only one left to play then is the Steelers
defense. 7 points. Win this game.
6.5.
Well, yeah, 6, but there's no half points on defense. The defensive score is only an integers.
Shit.
7 defensive points wins this game for Dustin, and if that were to happen, that keeps the 4th and final playoff spot open. If the game doesn't happen or Pittsburgh allows a bunch of points from whoever's going to be playing for Baltimore,
RG3
with the massive comeback, if that happens, then Nick would lock the fourth playoff spot.
What if RG3 comes out and fucking lights it up? First of all, our league maybe knocks Dusty, but I mean, just talking about NFL-wise, Lamar Jackson hadn't been able to complete more than 7 passes in the fucking game all year.
He's been very, very unimpressive this year. That's very true.
So I mean, what if RG3 comes out and fucking lights it up?
comeback story for next year, I guess, especially if they ended up making a playoff run with him at the helm. Because Baltimore's still in it. And they're not going to get that division, but they're still in it.
So, yeah, I'm thinking in all likelihood, though, if the game does go through as planned tomorrow night, the Steelers are going to get 7+ points against the RG3-led Ravens.
In which case, as we said, that would put Justin at the top of the heap in the East Division at 7-5. Nick at 6-6, still in the hunt. Brian eliminated, 5-7. Blake eliminated since last week, 4-8. In the Western Division, the clearly better division, myself at 8-4, and I've got myself as clinching the division, not on record, but in ESPN, the tiebreaker. Back to talking about points. I've got a comfortable 90 or 87-point lead.
I'm definitely fucking contesting some of these points, by the way.
Take it to court, man.
I will.
Get old Sidney Powell and
Take it
Rudy
multiple
after
times. Anyone that'll listen.
But yeah, so with the loss, I still get the division with the points. But Moss at 7-5, locking a playoff spot. Can't take the division, but probably going to get the 3rd seed. So, Justin, you going to finish out the division and get the number 2 and be playing Moss in the first week of the playoffs?
That is my plan. That's what I'm hoping for right now. Although I do have to say I am amazed, talking about top of the heap in our division. Did not know you could stack shit that high.
I was going to say, I want Nick and Brian and Blake to think about the fact that this is your division leader right now. I mean, what the
I mean, I'm
fuck?
amused myself.
And
Brian, what happened?
Brian's
What
eliminated
happened,
from
man?
contention too. Nick's the only one that can still win it. And as of right now, if it came down to the same record, Justin has the edge in points by 12 points. I'm not doing the 2 decimals, but by roughly 12 points. So, Nick, you'd have to win, Justin lose, and you'd have to outscore Justin by at least 13 points to take the division. I think it's yours for the picking, man.
I don't know, man. Well, I take that back. Looking at Blake's score this week, it's kind of terrifying, but also, Blake, I'm sorry. There's no fucking way you do it twice.
How are we finishing this, guys? Are you finishing 8-5? Or are you backing in at 7-6? Blowing his prediction.
I will not actively blow his prediction, but it is me we're talking about, so anything is possible.
What was your score? Go back to the scoreboard. Let's
I was
see.
gonna
'Cause
say, the
you wanna
last
talk about
time-
up and down. You the same way.
And I was going to say, the last time me and Blake faced off against each other, we had a very impressive showing.
159.6.
That's with 57 points from Tyreek. Which, let's jump in real back to the point that you were talking mad shit about your team. Let's look at it right now. No. You were talking mad shit about your masterly put together team.
No, I was joking about how bad my plugins are.
What I'm saying is you had Damian Harris is the only plug and play you had here. These are all dudes that have been on your roster, and all of your non-starters like Jamison Crowder. I mean, the only one that performed was fucking Tyreek Hill, and then Gallman has
Brady
been...
stood 24.7. That's he outperformed.
Brady
his
had a
projection.
nice game.
Mostert
I mean,
was
he had a pretty good
1.6
comeback
off of
game.
his projection. Gallman outperformed by over 7 points.
I expected good
Tyreek
things from
outperformed
Gallman.
by
He's
over
outperformed like
35
3
points.
weeks running.
But then you have Crowder underperformed.
Crowder did dog
Harris
shit.
Underperformed by 1.3.
Who?
Hurst.
I said Harris.
Oh, Harris was off by 5. Yeah.
Yeah, Harris did awful, unfortunately.
Or 6. I'm looking at Crowder as well. But yeah. So, yeah, I mean, go down to his bench. What's he got on the bench?
Cripples.
Hey, that's better than me. I had over 100 points on the bench.
Oh no, I didn't leave nothing on my bench. I didn't have it to leave.
One of my guys is taking performance-enhancing drugs, though. Like that's why I benched him, because I mean I had the foresight to see that it was disrespectful to the game.
Meaning that he's complicit with PED use
No,
for
that's why
not
we make the
immediately
roster.
cutting the player. That's really showing your morals there. Wait and see if he gets suspended. Hey,
He's been suspended for 6 games.
No, that's what I'm saying. You were not cutting him when you should have.
Yeah.
You know.
Should have played him then, honestly. Yeah.
Hey, while we're still looking at this, let's point out real quick. Brian has scored 1,625.66 points so far this season. He has been up against only 1,539.46. He has the
plus 87.
Plus
Which is
87 margin.
Second highest positive margin in the league.
And the highest by quite a bit point scored margin.
Well, let me just say to that, I thought that was going to change this week. I was hoping that was going to, but I think he's still got maybe like 3 points when it all shakes out, depending on what Justin Tucker does.
With that being said, him having the most points, he is, what's his record right now?
5-7.
5-7. Wow. That seems statistically impossible to have a plus point margin.
Think there was widespread point fraud?
No, I think there was against me for sure. I think Brian just fucking sucks at managing his team all of a sudden.
That is a really glaring example of bad management. Just for comparison there, like some of the other, there are only 4 teams with a plus margin, actually. One of which is Brian, like we talked about, with a losing record. The other 3 teams have winning records, and the other 3 teams are sitting here. Everyone else has a negative differential, which, of note, Jordan has the worst negative differential of negative 119. Points for, 1437. Points against, 1558. That's...
Sorry, bro, but
yeah,
fuck you, bro.
That's terrible. Terrible luck. And management.
Terrible luck. Terrible management.
Been the story of the year for this league. Most of them, anyway.
So let's see. Then we had me and Blake's game. Alright. So first of all, fuck you, Blake. Yeah, let's bring up Blake. I wanted to wait until it wasn't out of, I wanted to, what did he say? I didn't want to talk too much shit while it's still able to be contested. He was already projected to beat me by 60 points at that point. It was at the end. You didn't do it, Blake. Fuck you. Fuck you, buddy. But yeah. Great job.
He equaled his projection, though. Like, he actually outperformed the initial ones, though.
Do I?
I remember watching this one, watching his projection creep up from the 160s to the 170s. He finished at 188. But, yeah, they had some big individual performers, too.
Yeah, fucking Antonio Gibson, because the Cowboys cannot stop a fucking thing. Piece of shit. DK Metcalf. Fuck you, DK. AJ Brown, I kind of like you. Gronk.
DK Metcalf has been. I think he is the leading receiver in the NFL right now.
Yeah, DK can fuck off. Number 3 as far as fantasy points.
I think yardage wise, he's number 1 now. I remember seeing that crawl across the screen this morning.
Yeah. Antonio Gibson. Yeah. All right, Blake. Good job. Good job. You put up a winning score for the 4th time this year. I'm still taking the under. Still taking the under.
4.5. So, again, that's versus Justin this week.
And just for the record, I'm still battling plenty of injuries. But you know what? Doesn't matter what I played. I'm going to take that one on the fucking chin of 188 you're putting up. So.
All right, go back to the matchups. Let's look at. We looked at Justin's matchup against Jordan already, talking about the point differential. But I don't remember talking about watching the projections change on that one. Do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, didn't fucking see that coming.
No, we didn't.
Yep. So then we've got Mitchell and Brian. Mitchell got a 44-point win here.
No, it's going to be less. He's still got Justin Tucker to go.
Okay,
take another 10, 12 points off
Mitchell
that.
got
a 30-point win.
Yeah. Okay, let's see.
And that's going to keep Brian in this season-long points league for whatever that's worth to make him feel better about himself for not making the good playoffs.
Oh. How the fuck did that? Yeah, so Russ underperformed. Kamara at a whopping 8 points.
Yeah.
Zeke with 4. And by the way, hold on. Justin, you cannot celebrate after getting your ass reamed last week with your own first
Go
round
back.
pick.
Bring it back up.
Oh,
Go back
I
to
lost by
last
more than
week.
20 points.
I wanna
Zeke
see
doesn't
it.
matter.
I know
That was
you
the
lost
one
by
time
more than
Zeke's
20
done
points,
something
but
this year.
if he takes Zeke away, you add him to your team of shitty
I
running backs.
still would have lost.
Bullshit, you would have lost.
Bring it back. Bring it
You
back.
non-math doing son of a bitch.
Still though, even if you're right here, that's the only week this year that Zeke has done anything.
He's had a couple of decent games.
Not since week 3.
I mean, dropping your first round pick is bold. It's very all right. 18.7 and Justin's best back did 4.9.
Zeke had 23.
I'm
His
sorry, yeah, it's projected
projection was
23.4.
18.
He had 3.2. So
Yeah, and he had to
add
combine
20,
7.
take away. Yeah, add 20.2 and take away. 20 wouldn't get in there. Take away from go down to his bench. You
But-
have to fill in for somebody if he didn't have it. Just his next.
Breida. So he would have gotten 0.4. So pretty much.
He still would have won though. Take away 20 something. You got him at 102. Give him
23, so it'd be 104.
Give him
And add him.
20. We figured it was 20.2. We'll give him 103.4. He would have still lost by 0.2 or some shit. Less than a point.
Something shitty, but
Less
I
than
would
a
have
point.
still
Oh,
lost.
oh,
I told
yeah.
you. I would have still lost,
You
so it
didn't have-
doesn't
you
matter.
Yeah, that was. a gut
However,
feel. The
you
gut feel
know,
was right.
That dump on him this week, I'm sure, hurt a lot more than that one bugged me.
You can pull up the season.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Oh,
Alright,
no,
you piece
that
of
takes you to
shit.
another page. There you go.
There it is. Alright.
31.7, 26.2, 19. Oh, shit, he was doing well through week 5.
So,
19.8, 21.5, 26.5.
Even week 6 wasn't horrible. He had under 10 points.
He dropped.
week
Justin
7.
dropped his ass immediately.
Dude,
he went under. He went
had
under 10
one
points for
single
1
digit
week.
game.
He dropped him, man.
What the fuck, Justin?
But since then, 11.3, 11.9, 23.4, 4.9 against me this week.
No, he didn't drop him until last week. Until before the 23.4. So
Yeah, no, that's the saying. He dropped him around that 8.1 mark.
No. He dropped him week 10.
Oh, he dropped him during the bye week.
Yes, that's when he dropped him. That's what I'm saying. He just dropped him. Brian picked him up, beat him with him.
And then did nothing.
And then
against
lost
me.
with him the week after that. So
Dude.
I mean, even if he got 20,
Let's
25
look at the
points
fact
on this
that
week, he wouldn't have beat me.
He
so.
plays at Cincy, Philly, and the Giants 3 out of the 4 playoff weeks.
I mean, those are not bad matchups to have.
Not at
in
all.
Playoffs, which. Yeah, are we through all the games to get to the forward-looking
let me see.
matchups? The one that's
yeah.
still ongoing. Yeah,
So let's see.
the one that ends tomorrow afternoon, maybe.
Deshaun had a 37. Nice showing
Let's
there for
all right.
Dusty.
Let's look at Dustin's missing. So Adam Thielen, and then Chris Carson came back after sitting there when he was locked out of the app for 2 weeks or whatever, sitting there putting zeros and still almost beating people. I mean, this is a dangerous team with someone who's actually managing. Because if he'd have filled in Thielen for anybody on the bench there, any one of those like 15, 20-point performers, this would have been a different looking game.
Yeah. Well, you're right. But what, did Thielen play?
No, Thielen was out.
Oh, what's wrong with Adam Thielen?
I think it was COVID for him.
Oh, that's some bitch COVID. Fucking virus from China that we're having to fucking deal with.
All because some dude wanted to eat a bat one day.
Fuck that shit. I thought he fucked a penguin.
Maybe it was the same guy.
you think he ate the bat before or after?
Maybe he and the penguin shared the bat. What is a penguin? I don't even know.
It's like a fucked up looking, like armadillo or
So you can't.
porcupine or some shit like that.
Do they
Armadillo
eat
was
those
closer.
too? You
Yeah,
just
I'm
said
sure
puppy.
they eat them.
I mean, we eat a lot of weird shit around here too.
Nah, they eat them, but mostly they use their scales to get boners.
Dude, what? Do they rub against them, or they like make it in powder and snort
like
it?
powder
I think
it
they find
and-
them sexy.
I'm pretty
That's
sure they
both.
powder it and either drink it or snort it. But, yeah, man, here's a pangolin.
The fuck is that?
Right?
What the?
I don't know. I have a small pool to draw from, but I look
That's
at
some
that.
big scales. Like you
Yeah.
could probably scrape a couple off of them to make your horny powder. and
Right?
then
They don't have to kill them.
Does you see this shit? Did
Yeah.
you know what that was?
Not until the fucking China virus.
What do they do? Is it just like an arm that doesn't do anything? It's yeah.
Yeah.
There's hair too. There's hair. Let me say that again. There's hair and scales.
Yeah.
Did
It's
you
a-
watch
it's
the
a
South
mammal
Park pandemic
marsupial.
special?
No.
Oh, motherfucker, dude. That tells us how it started.
Yeah. I have to do it. I'm sure it's streaming somewhere.
Oh, I don't know. I pirated it.
No.
Nah.
Well, hook it up with a USB, man. Wait, no, camera, right.
Alright, so looking ahead to week 13. So, Mitchell, are any of our games in week 13 going to be... Let's go ahead and assume that Dusty's going to beat Nick. You know what, actually, we're going to take a quick break.